Motivation is overrated. Now, if you're anything like me, and I have a feeling you might be, you've spent a lot of time searching inspirational quotes or speeches on YouTube, trying to get that motivation to tackle your tasks, whether that's at school or work, or even doing your daily chores at home. And if you're like me, you've probably found some level of success when doing so. But over time, what I've found is I get a little burnt out. Those inspirational videos, they stop hitting as hard. And I usually find myself hitting a brick wall with that motivation, and I slowly but surely slip back into my old habits and ways. Today I want to talk to you guys about the folly of relying on motivation, and what you can do instead to set yourself up for success. Now, before we get started, I do want to let you guys know I did get a new microphone and setup. If things sound a little weird or different, that's why. And I really appreciate you guys bearing with me while I get this new setup all dialed in. But with that said, let's not waste any more time and dive in. Now, motivation is a powerful thing. When you're feeling motivated, you kind of feel unstoppable. You feel like Mario when he picks up the superstar. You can just plow through any obstacle and you have endless energy. This is a great feeling. It's borderline intoxicating. But anybody who's experienced this feeling knows that it is fleeting. It's lightning in a bottle. It doesn't stick around forever. Even things I'm super passionate about or interested in, like playing video games or making videos. Eventually, my motivation tank runs dry and I slowly lose interest and passion. I no longer want to play the games that used to excite me, or I no longer want to put work into a new video. And these are things that I enjoy doing, things that I love on a day-to-day basis. This doesn't even count my day job or keeping up with my apartment. It's an easy trap to fall into, and I know that because I have been there many, many times. So motivation is fleeting. It's not reliable. But what other choice do we have other than to just wait for it to strike or try to stir it up like embers in a fire pit? Try to get that blaze of motivation going again so we can complete everything we need to and want to. The other option, the much more important option, is discipline. Now, motivation and discipline are very similar. They are fuels that will get your proverbial vehicle over the finish line for any task you're trying to accomplish. But the difference is motivation is an external force that inspires you to get things done. And it is fleeting and dependent on those external factors, so it's not super reliable. Discipline, however, comes from within. Discipline is you holding yourself accountable and making sure that you do what you know you need to. Discipline is what gets me through days where I'm lower energy or a little more depressed. Sure, I may not feel great. I may be a little bit slower at getting things done than I normally am, but my discipline is going to make sure that I get them done one way or another. Discipline is what I can use for those things that can't be put aside. If I'm not feeling like playing a video game, that's one thing, but if I'm not feeling like cleaning my bedroom or making sure my dog is taken care of, that's a bigger issue. This is also the key to success with your professional life or your school life. You may not feel like studying. You may not feel like putting your all into that work presentation you need to do. But if you have that discipline, if you can tap into that, you can make sure to get everything done the way it needs to be. The best part of it is discipline is like a muscle. When you first start out, you may not be very good at keeping yourself disciplined. But over time, as you continue to push yourself and hold yourself accountable, that muscle will grow stronger. It will get easier in some regards, but it will never be easy. And along the way, you will have missteps. You are human. That is part of the process. But the important thing in my experience is even when I have those moments where I'm more down, where I don't do everything exactly correctly, I can find it in myself to forgive myself and continue back on training my discipline. If you can reframe your thinking, and instead of relying on lightning to strike with motivation, instead find ways and opportunities to build your discipline, I really feel like you will find that you have far more success than you're currently experiencing. It won't be easy. Growing as a person never really is. But what I can promise you is that it will be rewarding. Breaking away from being passive and relying on motivation, and instead focusing on disciplining my mind, has been one of the best gifts I could ever give myself. And I want that for you as well. So I would challenge you. Take one step today to just discipline yourself. Hold yourself accountable. And even when things are rough or you're not feeling 100%, make sure you're still making progress on those things that you want to do, you know you need to do. And I can promise if you keep it up and keep at it, it will make a world of difference for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video today. Let me know your thoughts on motivation versus discipline in the comments down below. And while you're down there, if you have any questions for me on this topic or any other, be sure to let me know. But with that said, I'm off to take my leave. As usual, make sure to eat well, stay hydrated, take care of yourself and those around you. And I'll see you in the next one, friends.